Okay, super excited to have Chris Wagner here today from Wagner Automation. Thank you so much for being here, Chris. I'm really excited to talk more about your company. But before we get into those details, can you tell us a little bit more about Rockwell Automation, what we'll be talking about today, and your role?
Sure. Hi, Lauren. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited about the stuff that we're talking about today, because what we're going to be talking about is how anyone in any organization can build out a world-class Power BI Center of Excellence. This is something that's a little near and dear to my heart. It's something that I am, I'm very passionate about, because I think that the more you can control, or the more you can enable people inside of your organization, the better the platform and better communities of practice and our data literacy across organizations grow, and that just is useful for everyone. So my name is Chris Wagner. I'm the analytics architect at Rockwell Automation. I'm also, recently I've become a Microsoft Data Platform MVP, which I'm very excited and honored to have, so thank you very much.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. I've been a member of the Power BI Client Advisory Board for several years now. For people who aren't familiar with the client advisory boards, we get together twice a month with the Power BI team, and we help articulate the value or the things that we need inside the platform to help shape and guide the development inside of Power BI. So it's an awesome program that Microsoft has in order to gather feedback from the people who are using their platform every single day, and it's really great to be part of shaping the way Power BI is headed. And honestly, I think it's that communication that Microsoft has had with their biggest users in the community that has been one of the contributing factors to Power BI's dominance inside the BI sphere. So it's a great opportunity. I really enjoy being part of that. Really like participating in that program. I'm also the founder of Kratos BI, so check out my website for content and videos and other useful tips. Yes. All right, today we're going to be going over what does it take to build out what does it take to build out a center of excellence? Three different big topics that I think of inside of there, which is how do you make those connections? How do you create those partnerships? Having regular touch points, and then focusing on enablement.
Perfect. Thank you for that intro. Establishing an effective center of excellence can be quite the challenge, and you've been able to create a very successful one at Rockwell Automation. So I'm really excited to dive into more about that journey. So let's go ahead and get started.
Awesome. To start with, a center of excellence is really about building out that internal community, bringing people together and helping people help each other work through the challenges and issues that people are facing. As we start to embrace these more self-service data and analytics tools like Power BI, you're finding that no longer is it just that centralized IT or business intelligence team that's able to go in and produce some powerful insights, but now that's being democratized, and users at all skill levels are able to go in and build out Power BI content to help grow and drive your analytics culture and drive your business. So one of the big things about building out a center of excellence is creating that internal community, bringing people together. The big thing that you're going to look for when you're doing that is finding those internal champions. And this goes for the people who are just champions themselves, right? So you do not necessarily have to be the owner of business intelligence inside your organization to build out a community and create those connections, right? If you're a champion, if you really like and you find this very interesting, go out and start to connect with people, start having those lunch and learns, start having those connections. But always be on the lookout for other champions, because just because you have time to build this out and keep that running doesn't mean that's always going to be the case. We all get busy. We all have our day jobs that we have to do. Connecting and finding those champions that can help shepherd the platform along is a real big big component of building out that strong center of excellence. Another key thing is connecting with your local Power BI user groups. Now, I saw a slide someplace that there's like 287 Power BI user groups all over the globe. So odds are there's one near you. I myself, I'm presenting actually on this same topic later tonight at a Power BI user group. But these are filled with people in the community who are working and building on Power BI that can help show you the millions of different ways you can use this tool to be productive and be useful in building out your solutions, right? And then also connect with the people at Microsoft. The Power BI team at Microsoft is hands down one of the most connected teams that are out there and most responsive groups in order when it comes to meeting the needs of the community. I remember when I decided, I'm like, hey, I am all in on this Power BI thing. It was like 5-7 years ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. And I had reached out through a social media site on LinkedIn to one of the early Power BI team members saying, hey, this thing wasn't really working right. It'd be great if this could be fixed. Lo and behold, they set up a phone call with me the next day. We talked through it, and on the next monthly release of Power BI, they had fixed that issue. I was just blown away with Microsoft's connection with the community when it comes to resolving issues and adding features. They're really great. And then the other thing that you want to make sure people are connecting to is connect with the local partners that you have, those local Microsoft Gold partners that are helping, help you provide those solutions to your organization, right? You're not going to be able to do everything by yourself, right? Because remember, there is an infinite demand for data and analytics, right? And we all have limited time and resources. So as part of a community of practice, you're going to run into people who have been asked by their boss, not knowing that this is nearly impossible, but saying like, hey, John, could you go out and build out a centralized data platform with ad hoc analytic capabilities, and just get that done for me by Friday, right? That's totally unrealistic for John, who's never worked in Power BI, to just go and do, right? Connecting John with either, with these gold partners can help facilitate John's work and also make sure that he's successful in the work that he's doing. And it also helps you ensure that John is connecting with a gold partner that you've approved, that that you can trust, right?
Yeah, and to that point, we all have limited time and resources. So creating an effective center of excellence can maybe feel like a lot to take on all at once. So where did you start?
Lauren, that's a great question. Now, this is kind of the path that we took. Remember, the old saying, right? A journey of 1,000 miles always begins with a single step. So as we go through these things, don't think, oh man, this is a lot that we're going to have to do. Start these things one at a time. Slowly and gradually add these things when and where it makes sense for you and your organization. Some of these pieces you might think, yes, I'm on it, I'm going to do this right away. Others might not be a fit inside your company. And you know what? Frankly, that's okay. These are the pieces that I would recommend you looking at fitting into your organization if you're really trying to add in all of, build out a world-class center of excellence, all right? First one is that monthly user group, right? And the monthly user group should be going over all the features and functionalities that were released inside of Power BI monthly, or the Power BI monthly updates. Go through some sample reports that people have done. Show some of your solutions that people have that you're working on. And honestly, one of the things you might find, especially if you're in a large organization, that like, oh man, Team A is working on the exact same problem as Team ZZ plural Z, right? And this forum can help them understand, like, we're working on the same problem. How can we work together and come up with one solution that's best for the organization? All right. So that's a real important part of the monthly user groups. The other thing is create excitement for people who are working in Power BI, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in there. People can get really distracted with all the work that you have to do. If you could keep people excited and interested inside of all the things that are going on in Power BI, that can really help foster that community and grow that knowledge. One of the things that I really enjoy as part of my job and that I do is I'm constantly sharing updates to the platform, blog articles that are written, videos that are available, sharing those out into the community, sharing those out on social media. That helps people see all the variety of different solutions that are out there for how they can work through and resolve the issues that they may be having, right? And then finally, the last thing that, or one of the big things that we have at Rockwell that has been just a boom, a big success is our weekly power hours. Now, power hours are a defined period of time every single week. We do them from 8 a.m. Friday till 10 a.m. on Friday. And these are basically built as sessions to bring the community together to work through problems that people are dealing with. Now, this addresses two big things that you need to have inside your community. And the first thing is the concept of see, do, teach, right? If you ever want to learn anything and truly learn it, you kind of need to go through these three phases. First, you see someone do that. You then, do that yourself. And then the final stage is you teach that to someone. And by going through these different processes, it really helps people internalize what's going on. By having a community of practice, or by having our power hours that meet and brings everyone together, it helps people see all the different solutions that are out there, understand the challenges that people are facing, and know what can or cannot be done inside your organization when it comes to using these tools, right? It gives people an excellent opportunity to run through and do different solutions that they see inside of power hours. And then finally, and this is straight up the most catalytic piece of it, is it gives people inside of the community and who are attending powers the opportunity to teach others what they've learned. So inside of our power hours, we cover Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. I know a ton about Power BI. I know comparative to that, I know next to nothing about Power Apps and Power Automate. And by attending power hours every week, I get to learn so much about these different platforms that I just simply would never have had the chance to learn before. And the reason that this is important is it goes back to the S curve of mastery, right? Anytime anyone's starting something new, they start at the bottom of that curve, at what I call the suck phase, right? Anytime you start something new, you just suck at it, right? It's new, you don't understand it, like, what am I looking at here? Until you reach that aha moment of like, oh, okay, it all starts to like fit together. And then people go through this rapid growth of understanding until they reach mastery in a topic. Well, with something like Power BI, and the entire Power Platform, there are so many different things for people to learn and know about the platform that, frankly, I like to say it's everyone's first day dealing with some topic, right? We're all new. We're all in that suck phase for different pieces of the platform or different challenges we're trying to solve. Remembering this and helping people become accepting of that, it really does help out in building that community and helping people understand that, hey, just because like I have this little title after my name doesn't mean I necessarily know everything. And it's okay. It's okay for them to come forward and ask, why should I use some, or why should I use some X, right? Asking those questions, getting that out of people is really important. And that's one of the things that Power Hours enables us to do is foster those environments where people have those opportunities. Now, logistics-wise, this can be challenging if you immediately bust out in success like we did. Like our first event was 600 people, so like that was a lot to manage, right? But now we're down to a nice 50 to 70 people that attend every week. But we manage all of these power hours. We do through teams. We have one centralized session that we go through, and all of the architects and the leaders and the champions, we facilitate those conversations. When and where we get into something that's a little more difficult or a little more challenging that we can't really finish off inside of a confined period of time, kind of a reasonable for where everyone's learning about something, we'll either table that for a meeting, outside of power hours, or we'll actually have that team step out into a separate teams meeting, and they'll do a quick huddle, run through what it is that they're looking at and dealing with, and then come back and join the group again. Again, this is a great time to connect with people and find out, hey, when is someone over their heads, right? When John is trying to build out that centralized BI platform, all by himself, it's a good time to step in and connect with him, and also help connect him with partners that are in your area. Like, we have some really great gold partners who have been working with us, and honestly, they've, this is a big shout out to Skyline Technologies. You guys, thank you so much. They've been connecting with us and helping us in a lot of our power hours, and it's a great way for us to connect with them and for them to connect with our users when their issues rise up to a level that we just can't support, right? It's also a good time for us to identify champions that exist inside our business that we just might not have known about, right? We through power hours, we found this young gentleman who had, on his own, independently, automated the entire work of a division. So all of that kind of busy work that the division would have to do, all these manual processes, this guy came along and went through and automated all those busy work, so that team is now able to focus in on their most critical and value add practices, so that they're able to achieve results that they've never ever done before. And frankly, it just blew me away when he showed me all the stuff he was able to build out inside of Power Automate. It was really, really incredible. And then the last piece is, this ensures that you're always allowing for the growth of the community, the growth of the team, and the growth of the skill sets and knowledge bases, right? I spend a great deal of time reading, working on things, and even then, I can't necessarily cover everything. By growing your community, you're going to find other people that are going to encounter different things and different experiences that they can help grow and contribute to everyone working in the space.
Yeah, you really have created multiple amazing communities for those working with Power BI, and it's super impressive. I've personally heard about the weekly power hours and how effective those have been, and you've done a lot of other things to be able to build that community. But I understand that you've also done quite a bit to make things as easy as possible for Power BI creators and consumers. Could you tell us a little bit more about that as well?
Sure. Thanks, Lauren. Our big key is we focus in on how we can enable people to run and do anything and everything that they need to do to be successful, right? So we look at I call it the road to analytics, where we put a guardrail on for security, right, to ensure that nobody can do anything that's going to cause any security risks, and a guardrail for noisy neighbors. So like, nothing I do is going to, nothing someone does is going to hurt someone else. But other than that, we really focus in on how we can enable people to deliver better results using the tools that are available. So one of the things that we do along that lines is we provide and we talk about all of the features that are available inside of the platform. We highlight different tools and functionality that it is new, or tools and functionality that people may not be aware of. One of the big challenges we were running into is where people were building out these reports and they were just, doggone it, they were just really slow. Why? Well, when we went in and looked at why are these so slow, well, it was because they were taking Power BI and they were basically building out paginated reports in Power BI. They didn't realize that there were two different, services. There's a Power BI desktop and the paginated report builder. And once we turned people onto these new tools and these new ways of working, we showed them how easy it was to work. They just took off like champs and addressed a lot of the performance issues. The other thing we really work on is making sure that we have all of the appropriate resources for people. And again, this is something that may sound like a lot. Take it one step at a time, right? So we started by going through different themes, creating different golden data sets, creating a sample app. I've made some of these resources available for you. These are available out on KratosBI.com, but you can go out and, inside your organization, build out a theme, build out a golden data set that people should be building all their reports off of. Give them some consistent visuals, or give them a palette or some backgrounds that they should be building out all of their reports on. This is something that can really help someone transform the way they're doing analytics and the way that the way that they're creating their Power BI reports really easily, right? So when John starts doing that work, he's not just like creating something that doesn't look real good. He's going out and he's creating something that looks great right from the get-go. And then what we do at Rockwell is we make sure that all of this content, all of it is hosted and shared through a Power BI app where we've got best practices, we've got guidance on storytelling, we've got all sorts of digital assets when it comes to icons, or it comes to themes, or it comes to backgrounds. We put out there and we publish documentation on key features every month when it comes to releases, code bases for how to do your work, examples of good code or bad code, best practices around visuals, but all of that we make available through the Power BI app itself, and through a team site for files that aren't exceedingly well shared through Power BI, right? But we do all of that inside of one space so that people are easily able to access it and understand what resources are available to them.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Do you have any last summary items you want to give, or anything else you'd want to add?
Well, Lauren, I'd really like to thank you for being able to speak in this forum, and thank Microsoft for your partnership over the years. As parting tips for everyone, I guess it would be, when you're looking at community of practice, or when you're trying to build that out, just focus in on how you can help those people that are in your business. The more you can help enable them, the more successful you're going to be. So turn that focus out instead of in, and you'll be a much happier person. So thank you very much, Lauren.
Well, I just want to say thanks so much, Chris, for being here and all the work that you put into this. And I really do think that the information you've shared today was extremely valuable. So thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Lauren. Bye-bye, everybody.